If you live in Spain for any length of time, you'll know that there's one football match that you simply can't escape.
Rodrigo atrás, Lucas,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. That was something.
ভাই মেসি রে মারামারি লেগেছে, টুয়েলকে ধাক্কা দিল রামোস, রেড কার্ড। দানি আলভেজ পে পুরাই দিল।
Even if you're not a football fan, even if you've never watched a game of football, because when this game is on, it's as if the entire country comes to a stop. Bars fill up, families gather around televisions, and friends start arguing about the match hours before kickoff. And the match that I'm talking about, of course, is El Clásico, the clash between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. Now, if you're not Spanish, you might just think it's another football game, but here in Spain, El Clásico is something much bigger. Because this rivalry isn't just about football, it's about history, identity, politics, and pride. The rivalry between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona goes back more than a decade. The very first match between these two clubs was in 1902, and around that time football in Spain was still very much in a development stage, and nobody could have imagined that this particular fixture eventually would become one of the most watched sporting events in the entire world. More than 120 years later, the rivalry is still going strong, and over that time it has produced some of the most dramatic moments in football history. To really understand El Clásico, you need to understand what each of these two clubs represent. Real Madrid is based in Madrid, the capital of Spain, right? FC Barcelona is based in Barcelona, the capital of Catalonia, and Catalonia has a very strong regional identity. It has its own language, it has its own culture, and it has a long history of wanting greater independence from the rest of Spain. Now, for many people in Catalonia, FC Barcelona represents that identity. And in actual fact, the club's famous motto is Més que un club, which means more than a club. For Barcelona supporters, the team represents far more than just football. The rivalry of these two clubs become even more intense during the dictatorship of Francisco Franco, who ruled Spain between 1939 and 1975. During that time, many people in Catalonia felt that their language and their culture was being suppressed, and Barcelona became a symbol of Catalan identity and pride. Meanwhile, Real Madrid, being based in the capital, was often seen fairly and unfairly as representing the Spanish establishment. So when these two teams met on the football pitch, it felt more than just a sporting contest. It felt like a clash between two different visions of Spain. Over the decades, El Clásico has produced some astonishing results, but I think the most famous happened in 1943 when Real Madrid obliterated Barcelona 11-1 in a Spanish Cup match. Even today, that incredible scoreline is still discussed when people talk about the history and the rivalry of these two clubs. Matches between these two clubs, even in the present day, rarely lack any drama. Perhaps one of the most shocking moments in El Clásico history happened in the year 2000. A Portuguese superstar named Luís Figo was playing for FC Barcelona. He was one of the biggest stars and a fan favourite, but then something unbelievable happened. Figo transferred from Barcelona to their greatest rivals, Real Madrid, and for Barcelona fans it felt like the ultimate betrayal. When Figo returned to play in Barcelona wearing a Real Madrid shirt, the atmosphere in the stadium was explosive. Fans booed him relentlessly, and even to today, it remains one of the most controversial transfers in football history. In more recent years, El Clásico reached another level when two football legends faced each other regularly. Of course, I'm talking about Messi for FC Barcelona and Cristiano Ronaldo for Real Madrid. For nearly a decade, these two players dominated the world of football. And whenever El Clásico was played, it felt like the ultimate showdown between two of the greatest players of their generation. One of the most iconic moments came when Messi scored a dramatic late goal against Real Madrid and then held up his shirt in front of the Barcelona crowd. That image instantly became one of the most famous moments in football history. Today, El Clásico is one of the biggest sporting events in the world. The match is broadcast in more than 180 countries and hundreds of millions of viewers tune in globally. Some fans are watching in the middle of the night, some fans are watching early in the morning. But wherever you are in the world, if you love football, El Clásico is a match that you simply don't want to miss. What's really fascinating is experiencing El Clásico while actually living in Spain, because when this match is on, you can feel it everywhere. Bars put the game on big screens, friends arrange to meet just to watch the match together, families, as I said, gather around televisions, and once the match starts, the atmosphere can be absolutely incredible. Every goal brings cheers, every referee decision sparks arguments, and if your team wins, the celebrations after are insane. If you ever get a chance to see El Clásico live in one of those two club stadiums, it's an experience you will never forget. Nearly 100,000 fans packed into a stadium, two of the biggest clubs in the world, and 90 minutes of tension, noise and passion. It's one of the most incredible atmospheres anywhere in the world. Living here in Spain, you soon realise that football is a huge part of the culture, and El Clásico is the ultimate example of that. It's not just a football match, it's history, it's rivalry, it's identity and it's passion. So if you ever find yourself in Spain when El Clásico is on, do yourself a favour. Find yourself a bar, order a drink and watch the match with the locals, because whether you support Real Madrid or Barcelona, you'll quickly understand why this rivalry means so much and why here in Spain, El Clásico is far more than just football. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up the video, but let me know in the comments, who do you support, Real Madrid or FC Barcelona? Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like and a hype. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do. It doesn't cost a penny, but it really helps this channel to grow. Anyway, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I'll catch you in the next one.